Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Ace and I have more Tera content here for you. As you can see, I am playing within the halls of Sinister Manor, which is the second dungeon that you encounter while leveling up a character. The second real dungeon, that is. And this dungeon is also founded within my favorite zone so far, which has to do with the whole theme that resides within it. A lot of top hats, dresses, and weapons like canes and umbrellas that they are trying to kill you with, so pretty epic, that's the thing. They are vampires though, but they don't sparkle, so I guess you can call it a blessing. Anyway, this video is going to be a higher gameplay, or at least a higher level gameplay for Slayer, as I promised I would do, as well as a tactical walkthrough guide for the dungeon itself, and then you have to think about the tactics for the bosses and such. I am 2 levels lower than the recommended level for this dungeon, and if you are a melee DPS, it's truly recommended to at least be level 28 or higher while you go within this dungeon. Trust me on that one. I am lucky enough to have a very stable and strong group, an archer, a priest and a mystic, as well as a pretty good lancer. The camera angles within this recording are a little bit off sometimes because as you can see right here, I like to zoom out a lot when I'm fighting in this kind of perspectives, but small hallways kinda mess that up from time to time. And as well as a pretty epic moment just before the last boss, which I think pretty much every MMO or even every gamer can relate to, or at least understand to my reasoning why I started to play MMOs to begin with, which was quite nice to experience within this dungeon. Anyway, this is the very first boss that you encounter. There's not a whole lot to him, but you have to understand that this dungeon requires a lot of AoE. This dungeon is very AoE inspired, not only by the trash but also by the bosses. There's only one boss that doesn't have any ads on it, the rest do. And this is the first one where they do have ads, as you can see, but they are really easy to burst down and you don't really have to worry about them. The second thing that you do have to worry about, especially when you're getting low health for whatever reason, is this red ring right here. The philosophy behind these rings is red rings or orange rings are bad, while the white rings are good. So that's how you know when you have to get out or when you have to stay in, depending on the situation, of course. And we pretty much kill him right here. And like I said, relatively tank and spank-like. He doesn't move a lot, so that's quite decent for a melee DPS. While this boss is annoying for a melee DPS. But before I talk about the boss itself, this is one of my favorite rooms, because look at it. There's blood everywhere. There's so much overkill, no pun intended, with the blood. And there's even a fountain in the middle that has blood in it that flows. Of course it fits within the whole vampire setting, but holy hell, there's so much blood. Anyway, this boss is pretty much a tank and spank when you can catch up to her, because she will do things like this when she will run around the room, or float around the room to be more exact. Summons a lot of ads. Once again, really AoE friendly dungeon is this. And you just burst them down while not trying to die yourself as well. And then trying to build up your MP, which is very important as a Slayer, so you can chase her down and then bring her down and get the loot as well, of course, because this dungeon is really annoying for a melee DPS, not only because of the ads it has that can destroy you, especially on the last boss. Well, only on the last boss, but that's what you will see at the end of this video. A lot of the bosses keep walking around a lot, even if the tank has aggro, which means you have to chase them. And you have to auto attack to be able to get the mana points to be able to chain your moves, because as a Slayer it's very important to chain your moves, because if you don't chain your moves, not only do you lose a lot of DPS because your moves will be slower, but when you have slow moves, like really slow moves, which will happen if you don't chain, you get stuck in the animation and you can't move and you can't avoid while you're stuck in there. And then things like this happen while you're in the animation, while you're trying to hit the boss, and you die. So not only is it very important for DPS to be able to chain your attacks, but also for your own survivability, as you can clearly tell here. Especially if you're positioned wrong. But I got rest really quickly anyway. And this is the room where the epicness started to happen, or at least I started to feel epic, because you know, as a gamer, at the end of this hallway, shit's going down. You just know it. And there's epic light and blood everywhere. You know that, you know, shit is going down right here, and that just inspired epicness. Unfortunately, there's a lot of trash that you have to beat before you can actually do this, which is destroy the statue, which will summon the last boss, or will summon the event that will trigger it, as you can see right here.
Only fools would tamper with powers they cannot understand, let alone control. Try controlling this. Malgarios, rise and feed, feed, feed!
And being able to get in those cutscenes, or seeing yourself in those cutscenes, is just really epic. It adds with the feeling of epicness that you're actually, you know, doing something, as well as killing big bosses that are way bigger than yourself. And this is one of the main reasons why I started to get into MMOs like this, to be able to kill big bosses with other people. At least that's what my reason is. I don't know what your reasoning is to play MMOs. Most likely the community to keep you there, but why did you start? Unless it's the community that also got you started to begin with. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. And this boss has a few tactics. He just jumps around, has a lot of AoE moves that you have to be careful with, because they do hurt quite a bit. And when he starts charging like this to pretty much the middle of the room, you know he's going to summon his ads. And those ads is a little army of spider mobs, and those mobs are not to be underestimated, because they will, with the roll attack that you can see right here, they will destroy you from full health to none in like a few seconds. You have a very, very small window of time where you can jump away, otherwise you're dead. And if you're not paying pure focus on that, when you're not paying attention purely and only to that, you will die because of it. But we had a good healer, we had a good mystic that was spamming his little healing balls, no pun intended, which is very nice as a mystic. And we got him down, and we got some nice loot. Only the best loot we got was for a warrior, and we didn't have a warrior in our group, which is always something that happens to any group, really, doesn't it? Anyway, if you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. And if you have any requests, let me know in this video or on my Facebook. And make sure to check all the comments there as well as here. And I will catch you guys in my next video. See ya.